Hello, I'm Alex and welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is a channel where I talk about what I've been making each month, and I've got a few knitting projects to show you today. So I'm going to put my cup of tea down and I'll start by sharing what I'm wearing today. So this is the Pheasant Pullover by Amy Christophers, and I knit this using Jamieson and Smith, their 2-ply jumper weight yarn, and I'll share all the colours that are used in the pattern in my show notes, which you'll find just below this video. There'll be a link that take you over to the blog, and it'll have any patterns and yarns that I've mentioned today. And if you want to, I actually have an email that goes out to anybody who wants to get the show notes to their email. So whenever a video like this goes live, I send an email out straight away with all the details of everything that I'm talked about. So if you want that, it'll be below the video. But yeah, I won't go through all the colours now. I'll put those in the show notes. But all I need to say about this is that I love the yarn. It's one of my favourite sweaters. It's so comfortable. It's a light fingering weight yarn and it's 100% Shetland wool, so it's really airy and it just seems to trap so much warmth. So although it's not a heavy sweater, it's so nice and light and it's quite thin. It feels really nice to wear, but it's super cozy as well, and I really love the colours in this as well. I use the same colours that are in the pattern, and yeah, I think they're just such a great combination, and I love this yarn so much. It's what I've asked for Christmas, so I've hopefully got some of this yarn, either Christmas or my birthday. My birthday's in January, so I have asked for some more of this yarn to knit another sweater, so hopefully you'll see that on a future episode. So I haven't got any other finished projects, so I've been knitting on a few different things. So I'll start by sharing my socks, and I've got my socks in one of my Blue Moon small sacks, and this is a new size of bag that I added to the shop when I did this Blue Moon collection, and I really love it. It's so versatile. I love just throwing a few different bits in here and keeping it next to the sofa when I'm knitting in the evening. And I've got 2 pairs of socks in here, so when I'm really tired and I just want to knit round and round on my vanilla socks, I've been doing these, which is so fun. I love the colours in this. I found the skein. It's an Arnie and Carlos design for Regia, and I have no recollection of buying this yarn. It was in a bag of fibre that was at my parents' house, so I bought my spinning wheel maybe 4-5 years ago, so it was in a bag of fibre that was for the spinning wheel, so I'm not sure if it's that old or if it just got put in there, but it's a really fun yarn. I love how it's knitting up. I'm using a Cascade Heritage yarn that I use for my At the Vicarage socks, and it's the burnished gold colourway, and I think it's a really lovely contrast for the heels, toes and cuffs. I've done a 1x1 rib on the cuff and Fish Lips Kiss heel on the heel, and yeah, that's one of my favourite heels. I love that, can you see there's no holes in the corner, which I think it's like one of the few heels that I knit where you never get any holes at the corner without having to do anything sort of fussy to try and close the holes. It's just the way the pattern's written, it doesn't create any holes there, and it's a nice fit for my foot. I've used the burnished gold to add a stripe in here so that the colour, it kind of transitions really nicely through the sock. I'm not sure if it was really necessary to do that. Now I've finished the sock, it probably would look fine without it. But yeah, these seem really fun and Christmassy, so that was an amazing find. I was very happy to have found that. I actually found 2 almost finished quilts as well. It wasn't just the quilt tops, I'd actually done the batting, loads of quilting on them, so you might see those in a future episode as well. One of them was a Christmassy quilt, so I might work on that. But I'll show you what it looks like. So that's what it looked like in the ball. And it's magic that it just knits up like this. And I can see why people love doing all these kind of fun, stripy, colourful socks, because you just cannot put them down. I can't stop. It's got start of the toe, and I've got about this far in, and you can see I'm trying to make them match. So I wound off this much yarn from the ball to get back to this part of the pattern in the sock. And I think they're coming up really nicely. I'm pleased with how those are turning out, and it's kind of made me want to buy more of that yarn. I can't remember what I think this one might be the Summer Nights think this might be the Summer Nights. I will double check and make sure that that's in the show notes, but they have a few different patterns, and there was one where it has more of like a raspberry pink and blues I think would be nice, and one where it had more greens, so I might be on a bit of a sock knitting kit. But the other thing I've got, and here is another pair of socks, and I've got this in one of my Blue Moon DPN Cozies, and this is the First Snow sock by Olivia, this Handmade Life. And you can see it's got a lovely lace pattern. I've finished one that I showed you last time. I love the heel that's in the pattern. It fits well. I thought it maybe looked sort of loose in this area. I wasn't sure if it was going to be a good fit, but it looks fine on. It feels comfortable, but it's so nice to knit. It's one of the most straightforward heels. There's no wrapping and turning. It's just, yeah, it's a really, really nice heel. Very relaxing to knit. Nothing that's too fiddly, it just comes together so easily. So I'm really enjoying these socks, and this is the Fibercoat Amble, and this is the White Heather colourway. It's a lovely yarn to use. It's so squishy. I don't know if you can see. It's so sunny today, it's probably picking up, like it has a bit of a halo to it. There's some alpaca in the yarn and it gives it this lovely sort of fluffy finish, but it's a very plump, squishy yarn, which is really cosy for socks in the winter, and they're knitting up really beautifully. So yeah, I've made some progress. I think when I showed you last time I was just past the toe, so hopefully this weekend I'll get the heel knit on those. And I will show you, what else have I got? Got a hat. So this is in a new bag for the shop. This is a festive edition of my Waterperry bag, and you'll recognise that canvas if you've been watching before. It's the red canvas that was used to make my advent calendars, and I thought with the leftover fabric that I had from those, I wanted to limit any waste I had, and I didn't want to have a lot of fabric sort of hanging around. I work in a really small space, so I'm always trying to use up as much of it as I can so that it doesn't go to waste, and also minimise the fabrics that I have to store at any time. So I thought it was a perfect opportunity to create a festive project bag, and I think the red goes so nicely with this more bold floral print, and yeah, it's just such a Christmassy red. It's perfect for this time of year. So in there I've got a hat project, and this is the Fiberco Law in Logical, which is another 100% wool. It's it's the Romney sheep breed, I think, for that. And there we go. You can see it's got a very simple beginning. It just has a few rows of twisted rib, and this stitch pattern is actually the same pattern that is in the yoke of my Deep Moss Pot sweater, which I didn't realise until I started knitting. Now it's so obvious when I look at the hat in the pattern. It's really clear that it's the same design. It's by the same designer, Carrie Helene Rain, and yeah, I just don't know why I didn't put that together. It was only when I started knitting the hat and I realised I recognised the stitch pattern that it clicked, and I was like, oh, it's the pattern from my sweater. So yeah, this is going to be a lovely hat. My reason for casting this one on was that I have a couple of hats in rotation at the moment, and they're both like soft and quite slouchy, and I wanted something for winter that was a little bit more structured, and it was going to be waterproof and keep me dry, because wool is amazing if you wear it in a hat, keeps your hair dry. And yeah, I have post office that's maybe 5-minute walks, not far at all, so I pretty much walk to the post office with my packages unless there's really too many to carry, but that's rare. Usually I'm going there at this time of year. Most days I'm walking to the post office, whatever the weather, so I've got my hands full. I don't want to have to worry about an umbrella. I don't want to use a hood that's going to blow down. I just want a hat that's going to keep me super cozy, keep me dry if it's raining, and that's what I think this is going to be. So that's coming along nicely. I cast that on last weekend, and I haven't had much of a chance to work on that through the week, but I'm sure I'll have a chance to do a few more rows on that at the weekend. So these are in the shop as well. If you're in the USA or Canada, you want to get your orders in this weekend. So the last day that Royal Mail recommend shipping orders to US and Canada is Monday the 13th. So I really need your orders in by Sunday, which is the 12th, so that I can pack everything up and ship it out on that Monday. So if you want anything that you're seeing today, make sure you pop over now, because when this video goes live, you'll have a couple of days or a day or two to get your orders in. So next up, in one of my limited edition medium sacks, I've got my Field Day cardigan, which is by Ozetta. That's, what's her name? Hayley Smedley. I think she is Hayley Smedley, and yeah, she goes by her design company is called Ozetta. And this is a lovely V-neck cardigan with a nice chunky button band. The button band needs sewing up here, but apart from that, it's just knitted on all the way. So, which side is it? This is the side with the button. So you can see there, got one of my buttonholes. And yeah, it's just a sort of, it's kind of cropped length, a shorter length. It's very hard to show you when it's on the when it's on the needles, but you can check out the pattern photo to see what it looks like. It's just a really nice casual V-neck with 3 chunky buttons, and I'm using Wool of the Andes Sport Weight, and this is the Mink Heather colourway. It's a really nice soft kind of neutral, it's like an oatmeal-y shade, which I love. And yeah, I'm really pleased with how that's coming along. It doesn't look like I've done many rows since I showed you that last, but I have done a little bit more. I think I'm just about at the point to do the second buttonhole, and yeah, I'm hoping that this will get a lot of love over Christmas, and that when I take some time off, I'll be able to put a good few rows on this and maybe get it finished for the new year, which would be lovely. So I think that's everything that I've got to show you. I mentioned about the shop. So yeah, you want to get your orders. If you're in the UK, you can still place your orders next week, and I'll be shipping out throughout December. So anytime you want to place an order, but if you're wanting to get something for Christmas or for the holidays, you want to get your orders in before the 13th if you're in US and Canada, and I think for the UK it's maybe the 21st. But all the details are on my website for that. I've got the Blue Moon collection's been restocked this week. I did a big restock of everything, so I've got the Blue Moon bags, and my Winter Woods bags are back for another winter season as well. So if you've been around for a while, you'd have seen these last year. These are part of my seasonal bag collection. So the Winter Woods has just been re-released, and it's a lovely print where it's got these gold kind of accents on the trees, and if you look carefully you will find, oh there's one, it has these little log cabins as well, which are really sweet. They're sort of dotted throughout the fabric, so you have to hunt those out as well. But I'm really excited to bring these back because they're always a popular bag in the winter time. I think it's a really sweet sort of forest scene. So these are in the shop as well. My winter, yeah, I've got the Winter Woods, I've got the Blue Moon, I've got my festive edition of the Waterperry bag. I have one each. If you remember last time I showed the gift sets, which had the yarn to knit the first snow sock, and you could either have the small bag, sorry, or the drawstring bag. I have one each of those left. So at the time I'm filming this, there's one of each of those. So yeah, you might want to order those. But yeah, the shop's looking nice and full. I made sure that there's a good choice for everybody this year. And I think that's all I've got to share with you today. It's been really nice sitting and chatting and sharing what I've been making. If you've got any questions, put them down below and tell me what you're working on. Are you doing any gift knitting while you're watching this, or maybe you're working on something for yourself? I love hearing what you're working on, so tell me what you're doing while you're watching, and I will see you very soon. Thanks again for watching, and don't forget, if you want any of the show notes or you need to know about anything I've been working on, the link will be down below. Thanks again, and I will see you soon. Bye.